let's now start with our top focus story. The United States is now saying it has seized the oil tanker Olina in the Caribbean Sea as part of a broader effort to enforce sanctions and maintain a naval blockade designed to stop sanctioned Venezuelan oil from leaving the country. Officials describe the Olina as part of a so-called ghost fleet of vessels that use deceptive practices, often sailing under false flags and turning off tracking systems to evade detection and shuttle embargoed oil. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said the tanker departed Venezuela attempting to evade U.S. forces and was intercepted by the U.S. Coast Guard, coordinated with the Departments of Defense, State and Justice. This marks the fifth tanker intercepted in recent weeks under the Trump administration's crackdown on illicit oil shipments. U.S. officials say these seizures aim to disrupt financial flows that may support narcotics, trafficking and terrorism, and to enforce both U.S. and international sanctions. I request David K. Johnston, who's an American author, to join me in this discussion here. Thank you very much, David, for joining me. David, how do you assess this situation? Who are the people really behind this so-called illicit transfer of Venezuelan oil, even with the U.S. oversight on the country and the Caribbean?
Well, Donald Trump believes, and I've been trying to warn people about this now for 15 years, that as president, he is dictator of America and the world, and that he's not subject to any kind of regulation or authority by anyone else. He can do anything he wants. And today's New York Times, a paper I worked at for many years, says exactly that in this headline I'm holding up. That he believes he's not subject to the limits of the Constitution. So seizing oil tankers, that just fits Donald's lifelong career. He has been found to have cheated investors, cheated workers, even cheated gamblers at one of his casinos, cheated bankers. It's been his entire life, is stealing from other people and cheating people. So the idea that he can seize Venezuelan oil, not a big deal to Donald.
All right, I see your point there. But David, once again, how is this really happening? Do you then see, regardless of how we characterize Donald Trump's actions in Caribbean and Venezuela, how do you see the fact that authorities, the Coast Guard, the naval ships are still not able to prevent this trading or transfer of Venezuelan oil?
Well, the U.S. has enough ships, both between the Navy and the Coast Guard, that if they want to interdict these ships, they can do that. You'll recall that in recent weeks, Trump has been hitting with missiles fishing boats, basically, and killing fishermen under the claim that they're drug traffickers. And of course, there's no evidence because the fishermen and their boats are at the bottom of the Caribbean. But the U.S. can interdict these ships. We have enormous resources. We can track every ship we want to from satellites and drones. And they can stop, if the administration wants to, every single ship leaving or bringing to Venezuela light fuels. Venezuelan oil is so thick, it's called pudding, that you can't put it in a pipeline unless you thin it first.
Yeah. All right, David, on a larger question, how do you see Trump making use of the excess oil from Venezuela that it now has access to? There's also the question of security, safety issues for the companies that might want to invest here. Then there's the question of the pipelines, if they are fit for the thick crude of Venezuela that we're talking about.
Well, seizing Venezuelan oil is going to have a negative impact on the American oil drilling business and the number of drilling rigs in the country. Remember, Donald said under his administration, it'll be drill, baby, drill. The number of oil rigs that are operating is down and continuing to slide. Oil prices are down for a variety of reasons, including things going on in China. But these movements by Donald are not going to be good for the oil business over a period of time. The price of oil has already fallen below the necessary price to extract what's called tight oil, small pools of oil from mostly oil shales in the United States. So this is all indicative of Donald's just appalling ignorance about economics, geopolitics, and basics of science like the issues involved with oil production, refining, and sales.
All right, David, thank you very much for your comments in this discussion. Request you to stay on. Moving ahead, viewers, let's cover some news on Greenland now. US